not a camera. It's just a regular executive seat right behind the big dance.
All right, kind of look.
Who? Talking to me?
Yeah, Scott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of like look right here. You don't even have to look at it.
You start doing that. How do you start doing that?
Scott, what?
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah, like that. That's cool.
The what?
Yeah, it's kind of 4 or 5 there, but if I go for it,
What are some of the things you promise yourself you never do after making it national? For example, I'd never make a bad enough video that gave you some bedhead on MTV.
Promise never to work a day job, a 40-hour-a-week shoe shop.
After making it national, do you think instead of 40 hours a week, you might devote it more towards music, so you don't lose that edge that Uncle Jack's worked so hard to develop?
Definitely. Not having to work 40 hours a week would by far enhance writing and performing and energy and mentally, physically, and musically, by far.
So when Uncle Jack does make it big, does get signed, the record companies would have a great investment. You're not going to waste all that time hiding. Still developing a new style.
Right. Trying out new things. Instead of working to the grind 9 to 5, work with the band 9 to 5. Create new ideas, new looks, new acts, new ways of doing everything.
I think do you think that doing this, that you can secretly work on a new style, so you always have that edge, and introducing that new style when there's a little shift in music that still complements the style you're already playing, such as what Miles Davis did that got rid of the history books because you actually have the potential of doing that, being on the cutting edge or inventing a new style and everything like that.
Yeah, I think right given time and with the right energy, all 4 of us, we can all work on something that would be more eccentric and a different style than anything that's been out. Definitely.
Is that 3 minutes?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask one more here.
Wait a minute.
Sure, there's a couple good ones on here. Okay. Do you or any of the members keep some sort of diary or log so when the band is signed and has a hit on the Billboard Top 10 list, that book describing your rise to fame can be released to the general public? Because Uncle Jack is moving at a faster rate than expected.
I have a sketch of everything that I've been through musically since I was 5. I've got a log of everything from playing the piano at 5 to playing the Civic Center in Lewiston at the age of 25. So I've got it all marked down, just about every band and everything I've ever done. Especially, Uncle Jack, all the moves that we have made in 2.5 years.
Okay. With that, since you've already got the sketches, do you think that Uncle Jack might possibly have in the future, immediate future, a concept behind the scenes and on stage with Uncle Jack for like 2 years, editing it down to a video you can person take home and watch?
As far as a movie or a video,
Well, a movie. And
we went through plenty of stuff to make a hell of a movie. We went through a lot of stuff the past 2.5 years that could be real action, real moody, eccentric movie of music. We could make a real good movie.
You think in the future using a digital camera that would be happening when Jack's doing a tour across America?
Yeah. Be nice.
Is that 3 minutes?
Sure.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. How did they hear you though?
We're gonna do that. We're gonna shoot him after.
Oh, I get
Then
it.
we're gonna edit it in.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thanks.
Yep. What do you want to get now?
Who's not busy doing the sound check?
Willie first.
Okay.
volume?
Cool.
Okay.
Because Ray wants to use vocal
Yeah.
actually, especially
Yeah.
geared towards and if you're not sure of a question,
Yeah.
you can say, we have, or we will,
Right.
you know, have been considering this, and we're just looking into the details, and then they answer your question.
Okay.
It's like a no question, it's still answer the same.
Okay.
Instead of saying straight no. You ready? Yep. In the future, will Uncle Jack have a concept CD with a storyline or a message? For example, what Queensryche did with Operation Mindcrime?
It's funny you mention that. That's always been one of my fantasies, I think, just because, you know, I grew up really liking, well, I grew up in the era of that thing was in, listening to Yes and King Crimson and, you know, even Rush. You know, all those groups were concept group, you know, a lot of their albums were. And it's funny these days, there really aren't too many of those things around, are there?
Nope.
I don't know if it's out of vogue or if it's just used up. It's hard to tell, really, but it would be fun someday to do, you know. But I think that for us to do that, it should be something that shouldn't be just a vanity thing. We should be well on our way with what we are already about, and you know, if that happened, we were successful enough at that, then yeah, I'd say, hey, if we have the time and the popularity and the real courage to do a concept album and hold our head about it instead of just everybody saying, oh, that's old hat. You know, if we did it, it wouldn't be old hat. I know we'd have to make it somehow fit in with the times. Maybe that's how we could accomplish it.
Have you been thinking about how you might do that?
Oh, I've always thought about doing that. Again, like I said, I think a little bit of that's reflective in our current music. But at the same time, I'm older now, and the concept thing for me, I think, was my age and stuff, and as being as a bass player with some jazz training, which I'm grateful to have. I really become more of a groove player, even though I do use some of my training techniques in my more groove-oriented bass player. I guess it's come with age. It's a maturity thing. So even my playing has become less. I play less notes now than I ever used to, but I try to make those less notes be a lot more meaningful than the 100 I used to try to cram into every other phrase.
Do you think that 100 is sort of like style, like heavy metal music was? And even though some people think that it might make a comeback, that individuals like yourself, here in the close to 20 years, might want the same type of hard practice that goes into that type of music without hearing the same stuff that they hear the past 2 decades.
Yeah, I guess it would have to carry a message. That's the whole point. I think people, concept albums are just what they are. They give you a picture of not just, music as being wallpaper, but music as being art. That's the whole, I guess, right? That's the idea. If we're still talking about concept albums, with a concept album, you're creating much more than just music or groove or something to dance to. I mean, you're creating, like you say, a story, situations, problems, resolutions to problems, emotional problems too, because music has such an emotional factor to it. I think that concept albums, I know for me in the past, have helped me identify with my surroundings, you know. And I just don't know if they're in vogue right now. I don't know if that's, I don't think that's where we're going at the moment.
In the future, do you think?
In the future, I think deep in the heart of every progressive musician is a concept album.
Within 15 seconds, can you tell us how a concept movie might also be married with a concept album in the future?
Wow, it'd be great. It would be, you know, just an extension. I suppose like video came into music, right? And that became...
Well, like Led Zeppelin's a song remains the same.
Right. You know, it certainly could go hand in hand. And I think haven't there been some attempts at kind of concept album movies? Is Pink Floyd? They have a couple of them, don't they? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm not that up on Pink Floyd, but I think they're one of the people that have done that. And you know, I don't know if maybe the new thing to do with a concept album and film, maybe to get some ideas across, maybe get a point across, maybe to awaken a new generation. Maybe that's on the horizon. Who knows? You know, but it's not a bad idea, wouldn't you say? Maybe for, you know, instead of a concept just painting a picture and being art, maybe a new idea to bring into a concept album, concept movie would be something that would push evolution and push, you know, higher thought, or, you know, the arts or whatever, higher, more, better. Because I do believe the world's going forward. I don't believe that the world's going to the dogs or going to hell in a handbasket. I definitely don't believe that. I believe the world moves forward. There's backslides to everything, but I do believe that all of us and everything is moving forward, not backward. So I don't subscribe to that. The world's going to end. I mean, if it does, then that'll be what life's about at that moment. Why? You know, I think with the turn of the century, a lot of people are preoccupied about the end of the world, and you know, maybe it could be about that. Maybe the concept could maybe shed some light on some of these things. I think some of these things are going to happen too. I don't think it's going to be exactly like all the different fanatical groups. You know, certain right-wing groups have their stapled out idea of what the end of the world's going to be. Some people even believe they really know what it's going to be, down to certain biblical, you know, steps and what they've read into. I don't quite believe that, but I believe we're going to see some things happen. But we're going to be here, and concepts and music is going to be a part of it. Even if it's horrendous, even if it is earth changes, incredible earth changes, or incredible music changes, or incredible, you know.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Hope I gave you some ideas for editing and thoughts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, it's great. I'm glad you guys have taken an interest in us. You guys have a show, do you, or something?
Yeah, well, this is the pilot video, and we're gonna create.
Where are you at? You injure yourself like that, we all set?
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I've had any time.
What are your plans for the third CD?
Third CD. Well, if there's any plans at all, one of the biggest plans is going to be a much more planned CD than either of our previous CDs. You know, Shrink, our first CD, was pretty much done in a very short time. We wrote some songs, we're excited about them, tried them out on some people in the clubs we were already playing at, doing kind of half covers and stuff, and people really liked them, so we said, hey, let's get in the studio and grab it. You know, the wave was up, we grabbed it. We pretty much went in on Shrink and just laid the stuff down, added a few little things here and there, but it was basically wham bam thank you ma'am, just as we had done them. And it came out good. I mean, it was definitely, you know, I think my first proud attempt at something I could be proud of. But Adhesive was much more planned out. We had our producer, Lance Vardis, worked with us with the songs prior to even going into the studio. And they continued to metamorphosize even when we got to the studio, which is the great thing about the studio is that you can do, I mean, you'll go in and lay down tracks and you can recreate the song in pieces even if you want to once it's on tape. The important thing is getting that final product, and of course whatever that becomes, that's what you learn, because that's what you go out. Even if when you went into the studio you played something different, you can recreate and even come out with a better product because you listen to it so much after and pick it apart and pick it apart. You get to the point where you've created an even better project. So to get to if there's any planning, you know, music's everywhere all the time. You and I could write a song right now. You know, if you gave me a 6-string even, we could write a song right now. That's not the hard thing. There's always music in the air. There's always ideas. There's always things to write about. With us, our third CD, I think, and hope is going to be our most killer CD to date. Hopefully the one that'll put us on the map. And through a lot more proper planning and pre-production and learning from what we've done as we've gone along and being an evolving rock band. Put it in a nutshell.
A lot of people.
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up.
Okay.
Just do a
What
sound
time is it?
real quick.
Oh, we got to do a full band sound
Yeah.
check? All right.
Pretty cool. You get to check out my new old socks.
Consider that, like I said, like an executive. If Razor Ray wants to use this, those promotions and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
it's questions to get like Pennsylvania executive, a huge stack, like $10 million. It's for you, you know, because he wants to sign you guys on.
So what are you saying?
You make you feel a lot more relaxed against the person that's the
What do we got for questions here so I can...
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. In the future, when the time comes to touring America, is your schedule similar to contacting local radio stations, putting on a free lunchtime show in the park or something like that, Capital? During the afternoon, put on a free drum clinic at a music store, and point a gig that night?
Would I do it?
Yes.
Of course I would. Kind of misunderstanding the question, I guess.
Well, when Uncle Jack goes on tour,
Yeah.
do you think his schedule will probably be that way?
Well, you can't really tell, I guess. Hopefully it is. I mean, I just assume stay busy. You know, more or less whatever fills the time. You know, anything really to sell the record. I mean, I like doing in stores and stuff like that. It's good to see all the people, you know, in different places. You know how big the band or the album gets. You know, and you can tell by the in stores how popular the band really is in a certain area. You know, I mean, if 2 people show up, you know, then it's a start. If nobody shows up, then you need to pound the tar a little more. But I don't really. I've never been on tour rigorously, so the schedule would be certainly new to me. But I'm nothing but sweat anyway, so it don't really matter. I'm always busy.
Do you think I've done with Jack. Does a tour of America. Might consider it Canada or possibly Europe.
Yes, anywhere. Anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter to me. I'll go all the way to India. Play for the cows. Am I pausing long enough? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We're using only one bass drum. I mean, I'm a drummer myself. Play fast, technical, precise, heavy. There's a lot of drummers out there who would want to know how you do it. We expect in the future, when Uncle Jack, has a #1 hit on Billboard 100, a book coming out that is transcribed about how you actually do it.
Well, it's easy, really, on how you do it. It's just a matter of, it's just 1 foot. I mean, it's just practice of speed.
And you use it with your hands also.
Right? It's just practice. There's no real, I guess there's no real definite technique. The technique is simple. It's just practice the technique. I've played double bass, which is where I picked up the technique itself. But when I decided to scale down my kit, for one, moving purposes and maintenance, and another, I felt that the groove was more important than all the different rolls and the different drums and cymbals. And of course, straight out of the 80s, everything was big drum sets and long hair, and as times change, it's sets are scaled down, and you try to, and if you like something, a certain sound that you have, that's you, and you make a change, you still have to somehow keep that identity in your playing, and that was one of them that that was me, at that period of time, and somehow it translates. You want to play it so bad, and then your foot will do it automatically. Your brain, your body's got to be in shape for your brain to tell it what to do and your body to react. And that's about how I did it, I guess. It's not. I'm a self-taught player, so I guess the technique itself is not mastered. It's just I play it unconsciously. So
What
I
about,
guess somebody else would have to write it down again.
if they did, could it be released to the general public so they can know how to play your
Sure.
drums before another CD comes out?
Anything. Anything's for sale.
It's about 3 minutes, isn't it? Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good.
Thanks a lot.
Who's next?
Ted.
He's better than me. He don't smoke. I'm safe in front of the camera. Oh, let's see rid of this here. All right.
Cool.
All right, man. Thanks. Man.
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Hey, buddy.
Did you hear
Yeah,
what I just said?
What's going on, man? What?
9:30.
9:30. I
Oh.
just pushed the mics
Hey,
into you.
hey, all right, how about this? How about this? How about we get started?
You said Mike?
No, we get Mike and then we get started if we have time. How's it going?
Alright, it's happening, man.
Go. He's gonna ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Gonna think about it and answer it. What do we got? 3 minutes?
Well,
I'm not gonna do that.
no, what do you
No,
know?
we're just gonna do the mic.
Okay.
We got 3 minutes. So, elaborate about it.
Yeah, but Scott and Chris went off the top.
Right.
You know,
Right.
let's go with that.
I know, but I just want to get.
That's alright, you just edit it and keep more of me, that's all.
I just want to get. All right, cool. We're all set.
Yep.
All right.
What do I do, sit down here?
Yep.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm being interrogated.
I know.
I can drink the margarita, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
They don't know.
You sure?
Yeah.
It could be just a drink with salt.
Man,
They don't know what
for
it
how much you pay for that drink?
Yeah.
Show it off.
is. I don't think I paid that much. I don't know when I
Yeah,
got
the
it.
perks. Oh, what do you?
You get the time
Right.
clock in the background
Well,
there?
yeah. I thought it'd be a good novelty, you know.
Playing music is a job.
Working for a living.
These questions are geared towards the teaching and the band.
Good.
Okay.
Is this going to be aired?
Yeah, this pilot video.
Well, hopefully.
We're creating a child, and we're
Yes.
gonna see who wants to adopt him.
Awesome.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, Doug.
Okay. So I tell everyone in the band, this is not a camera, it's a record executive. He's got $10 million stacked right here, just for you, okay? So, because Razor Ray wants to use this for promotional and stuff like that, so I
Good.
get the questions toward this.
Good. Excellent.
Of course, I give you the toughest questions.
Good. I'm good with tough questions.
Okay.
My makeup okay?
Oh, fine, yeah.
Ready? Okay. Uncle Jack is its own worst competitor. The band agrees that every CD has to be better than the last one. Where is the inspiration, research and development, or even influences that will aid the band from successfully accomplishing this come from in the future? Admittedly, Adhesive is an extremely high quality CD.
Yeah, we had as high quality as it sounds. We only recorded it in a week's time. So, I mean, the first CD we recorded in 2 days, basically 2.5 days. This one was a week. So it's only natural that the more time we had, it was a better CD. Also, the first one we were together for only 4 months when we recorded it. This one we had a couple of years behind us. So, it's been easy to top the first one. And I think it's going to be easy to top this one, seeing as we only had a week to record this one. Maybe next time we'll have a couple weeks. And even if we only have a week, even if we only do it in another week, I think it's the longer we've been together, the more. We've still only been together for 2.5, going on 3 years. So we're just coming into it. I think it's gonna be a lot better. We're getting more creative.
Where does that creativity come from?
The fact that there's 3 of us, actually 4 of us, we all write. We all have our say in writing and stuff like that. It's not like one person that fuels the writing. We all do it. So there's going to be a lot more input of all of us as each album goes on, as each CD comes out. We're going to do a lot more. We hope to do a lot of CDs. But I think the next one is definitely going to be a lot better. You can sense it. You can sense it when you start writing. You can sense it when you start, when even before you go into writing, just your attitude towards it, you can tell something's going to be better than the last one. And we're all the kind of musicians that like to do something different each time. And Adhesive is different from the first one. I think it's better sound quality wise too. But it's good songs in the first one too. But this is going to be different. And I think as long as you're being different, it's always going to be better because, you know, depending on who's judging it, you know what I mean? The fans like to hear something that's the same as what you did before. And we do a little something. We always keep that same Uncle Jack thing, but we're going to do something different each time. It's going to be, I think it's going to be better. So, and then we'll top that one because hopefully next time after that we'll have more time in the studio. You know, it's only going to get better the more time you spend in the studio. Unless you spend too much time, then it's overkill.
Could too much time lead to a concept album?
Yeah, I don't think right now we're the kind of band that would do a concept. I don't think personally we'd do a concept album. I don't see that happening in the near future because our songs focus on so many different things, so many different aspects. That one concept would be kind of like, you know, one concept, kind of weird. I think we came close to a concept album on Shrink. I don't know. I don't think a concept album is in the works for us. What else?
Using your guitar teaching techniques, do you think that you can place all these songs on digital film, you can put them on video, CD-ROM, and the internet, and release them publicly months before another CD comes out? So you get fans that play guitar, their interest up, and keep it rolling when that next CD comes out. And release them, say, some videos after that publicly.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be into that. That's awesome. I mean, the internet is an awesome thing. It's great. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to release anything that we haven't put out as a CD yet,
Right.
and release that on. I would put the old stuff. The old stuff, definitely. And then make a new CD, and then when a new CD comes out, you know, wait some time and put that out as a, you know, definitely. I've taught some of my guitar stuff. Although, when I play with the band, I don't use a lot of technique as far as, you know, doing the right things. I teach people how to play, you know, beginners and all this stuff. It's just something I do outside of this, you know, make extra money and make ends meet and stuff. But I don't naturally, when I sit down and we sit down with writing and stuff, I don't incorporate, okay, I'm using the A Phrygian mode here. I don't think like that. We just play and come up with a groove. I totally throw away a lot of the teaching things when it comes to writing. But when it comes to, if I needed to show somebody what we were doing and what I was playing, I can definitely teach them how to do it and write it out on tablature or notes or whatever and put it on the internet.
So that way, musicians who like your style of music will like it forever because they know how to play it note for note.
Yeah. Or either that or they'll get sick of it because they're playing it all the time for their friends. And I was like that with Stairway to Heaven, you know. Once I learned how to play it and I was playing it all the time, kind of burnt out on it.
Understandable. But is there advice you give to your students that you can't emphasize enough, that you always want to express to the general public while having an interview like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, learn the basics and learn what you need to know, your music theory and stuff like that, because it's like a lot of bands that are out there that are just playing, you know, 3 chords and stuff. It's great if you're in a punk band, you can do that if that's all you're gonna do or whatever. But if you want to do something different than that, you're gonna need to learn some basic music. And I think it's great. If you love music, you know, it's good to learn the basics. But after that, make sure you have your own individuality. In other words, don't take what someone shows you literally, so literally that you just kind of sound like a robot. Try to incorporate your own feeling as much as possible. That's the biggest thing.
What are some of the mistakes you try to advise your students to stay away from? And what are some of the successful tips you've given them also?
Mistakes?
And successful tips.
I would say, as far as successful tips, it's hard because I'm still working on that myself, but just you have to love it. Make sure you love it. Make sure you love doing it. Make sure if you get on stage, make sure you can play. Make sure you can at least play. You don't have to be great, just make sure you can at least play. And don't spend your time like wasting away in your basement, or if you're trying to get a new band started, don't spend your time. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Get out there and play a little bit, because you'll learn a lot once you're out there playing. You'll get better. You may have a couple of lousy gigs, and chances are there may only be 20 people at those gigs anyway. You know, but use playing out as a practice, and don't hold yourself back from getting out there. But at the same time, make sure you can play first.
And you said loving it.
You gotta love to do
a little
it.
bit more detail what that means to you.
That means going out and traveling a few hours to play for free, you know, or maybe not even getting to play, you know. So that's what I mean by loving it. You have to want to do it, and you have to want to do it for free, because we do a lot of shows for free, you know, and people think, well, you get a couple CDs out, you must be getting big bucks. No, we don't. But you know, sometimes you get some gigs where you get some money, you know, and it's not about money. That's usually an extra. You know, if you're like, wow, we got to play in front of people. That's the way I think sometimes. I actually think, wow, I got to play in front of people, and they actually gave me some money for it, you know, and I can pay for my gas, you know, great. That's basically loving it. And loving it is, you know, you don't give up on it just because you're not good at it right off the bat. Some people think, well, I'm just not born for it, I can't do it. Well, you can if you actually practice and you really, really want to do it. That's it.
Do you think that's your source of inspiration? Do you think that's your source of inspiration that I asked about originally, where you get new ideas from? Because you love the music so much, you keep practicing something over and over until you finally get it right, and in the band, you got a new song right there.
Actually, yeah. I mean, if you really want to work at it, you have to love to do it. I mean, when you go to your regular job, you don't really necessarily have to love it. You get a paycheck. You get a steady paycheck. You know you're going to be getting. You know you can pay your bills. With music, you don't always know if you're going to be getting a steady paycheck. So you have to be doing it because you love it. You know. Otherwise, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to quit and go to a cover band where you're playing other people's music all the time, and playing with a bunch of musicians who don't love it because they just want to get that paycheck. The music suffers from that. You know, the music always does. People can tell that. People can tell when you don't like it. You might not be the greatest band in the world, but you're up there and you love doing what you're doing. You're gonna get some kind of following. You're gonna get some people that just, you know, like the energy that you're giving off. You know, and that's what happened with us. When we started out playing. We weren't the greatest at all. We weren't really good at all. We're still not. I mean, as far as like, depending on how you want to measure that, you know. But you gotta really love to do it. You gotta have the energy. That way, your energy comes off stage. Even if you're not having the greatest night in the world, say something bad happened to you that day or something, and you're on stage playing. If you love to do it, people will understand that, and they'll understand that you may not be jumping around quite as much that night, but they still get that kind of energy, you know, and you love doing it. I don't know, I guess.
With your enthusiasm and your teaching background, I'll ask you the same question I asked Mike. Do you think a possible schedule of contacting a local radio station touring across America, letting them know that a free lunchtime show will be put on a guitar clinic at a local music store, and playing a gig that night might occur?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's great. That's a good thing to do if you have the time to do it. I mean, sometimes you might not always have the time to do it, but if I had the time, I would do it, definitely. That's what I love to do. If I had all day to just talk about guitar, I'm a guitar player, you know, if I had all day to talk about guitar, that'd be awesome. Especially if I was being on the road, being paid to be, and I didn't have to worry about working my regular job, you know, to do it and stuff, that'd be great. That's all I'd want to do. I'd even get together and jam with local musicians and do whatever, that's it.
Since you said that, do you think that when you do make it big, what's going to happen is instead of falling into that ditch of getting caught up in the glitz of luxury, Uncle Jack will actually be there using those 40 hours per week, practicing more, inventing more things, and always on that cutting edge after being signed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even more so. Even more so. because once if you get signed, you get a decent deal going. That's your job. That's not only what you love to do, but it's also your job. It's also what you're getting to support your family. You know, right now we all have jobs, regular jobs do that, so we have limited time to write and stuff. But we all really good at coming up with stuff quickly, and what happens in a short period of time is great. I always say, can you imagine if we had all kinds of time to write? We'd be in there all the time. This is what we love to do. I know Scott, the singer, he loves to write. I love this. If I didn't have to do anything else, that's probably what I would be doing all day long. You know, just taking a smoke break every now and then.
So you, in other words, after Uncle Jack gets signed, bets can be placed that you won't be a one album or one CD wonder or two CD wonder.
No, because even if we get dropped from a major label, we'd still do what we're doing now. Find a way to put out CDs, and that's what we did. That's it. It's not easy to get recognized up here, you know. But if you want to do something, you'll do it, and that's what we did. We wanted to do it. We didn't have the money, so we went out and made the money as a cover band. But we also played our own stuff the whole time because we couldn't keep away from playing our own stuff. It's like, ugh. And we put our own style into the covers too, and we just did it that way. You know, we bit our tongue, you know, and just did it. You know, next thing you knew, we had the money to go in the studio. We only had 2 days, but we did the most we could in that 2 days, and that's when we got shrink. And this one, we had the Backstreet Records, and he paid for us one for a week. You know, so that was great. You know, we pay it back, but it's good. It's good to have someone to front you the money to do it, and then you can worry about the money situation later. You see the CDs sell, luckily, thank God, and then we can pay him back.
You folks play Boston, Rhode Island, quite often. Besides playing both islands, Massachusetts, do you think that the band will regularly be touring or hitting the hot spots of New York State or New Jersey?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. We've only hit Providence and Massachusetts, but there's definitely some other situations. From doing the show in Providence, doing the shows in Providence, I really could see that, wow, it's easy for us. It only takes, you know, it's only like a 3-hour drive, you know. We don't have to have a bus or nothing. We just go down there and do it. It's really easy, so there'll definitely be more shows, especially in the New England area.
Well, since you folks have done so well in this area, after touring the mountain, that's it.
All right, cool.
So what you think?
No, not too bad.